Happy Friday, Bears. Welcome back to Kickin' It Live. We've got our hard hats on for a construction-filled show today.
We're live at the construction site for the topping out ceremony, plus the swim team made waves last weekend.
UA Idea Day update. Those of you who are on a field trip for Idea Day and those of you who made it on the wait list will receive a field trip form in class.
Please get the form signed and return to a UA Idea Day team member outside the attendance office during 4th and 5th period next week.
On Tuesday, we traveled out to the high school construction site to get an update from Mr. Potts on the progress.
Welcome back to the high school construction site. We're standing in front of the auditorium where the steel has made significant progress. We're getting close. We are framing walls within the academic section and also doing fireproofing throughout the building. So the building is coming along great. We are on time and on budget and excited to showcase the facility to the community come August 2021.
Alex caught up with students around the high school and tested them on their knowledge of the new school. First off, how long does it take for concrete to dry?
How long does it take concrete to dry?
I don't know, like 3 hours?
2 hours.
I know it won't dry if you put sugar in it, but I'm gonna say like 12 hours?
24 hours.
How much did the new school cost?
Ooh, like it was like $1 billion, right?
$3 million.
2 million?
A lot.
How many more parking spots will there be at the new school?
80.
Over 200. 52. 4.
True or false, each student will have their own individual locker.
True.
True.
True?
True.
False.
What?
Yeah. This has been Alex Chris for the WARL.
Turns out the new school is a bit more expensive than what most students thought. The school costs $115 million.
If you lost something at the school, go find it in the Lost and Found. All unclaimed items will be donated at the end of the school day.
The free winter band concert is Wednesday in the auditorium at 7:30 p.m.
All UAHS students are eligible to apply for the President's Volunteer Service Award. Find details on the high school website. All hours must be submitted by Sunday. Arlingtonia
needs you to nominate a senior that best showcases all that the class of 2020 stands for. You can find the survey on Schoology.
And that's all for Maine. Now to Sid and Ava with sports.
Welcome to sports. Isa de Benedetto made history on Sunday, finishing 3rd at the first ever Girls Wrestling States in Ohio.
Wrestling senior night was Wednesday, and the team celebrated their 13 seniors with a 57-14 win against Olentangy Berlin. Sectionals take place Saturday at 10 and go all day.
Girls gymnastics placed 7th at districts on Saturday, and the boys basketball team lost to Canal Winchester 60-55 on Saturday in tournament. The boys went 14-9.
Swimming States took place last weekend. The girls placed 3rd in the state and the boys placed 2nd. Jess takes a look at how the individuals did.
Years previous, we've had a separate girls practice and a separate guys practice. We were able to come together as a team and win OCCs. We got 3rd at districts, which was a little bit disappointing.
We broke all 3 relay records. The tour medley, that record was 15 years old, and 100 free records, both of those were 11 years old. Our 200 free relay was 21 years old. 400 free relay, a 11-year-old record.
About everyone loses their voice. The energy is insane.
This has been Jessica Stelzer reporting for the WARL.
Congratulations to all winter sports team who recently finished their seasons.
Hockey won their first tournament game on Saturday 16-0. Their next game is on Saturday at 2 o'clock against Oxford Talawanda at the Ice House. Captains Will Lawless and Tim Kramer were selected for the Ohio All-Star Game.
Men's volleyball tryouts go from March 2nd to March 4th from 3:30 to 5:30 in the main gym.
There is a mandatory men's tennis meeting on Tuesday 3:15 in the West Cafeteria for interested players.
And now to Jess and Rebecca with Community News.
Welcome to Community News. Nationwide Children's Hospital is set to open a new building dedicated to treating children with mental health issues.
This was prompted by the large number of kids going to Nationwide's emergency room with serious behavioral health conditions, which was a 400% increase from 10 years ago.
Second floor renovations on Tremont Elementary School are complete and open to students. Garrett and Tad got the inside scoop.
Tremont Elementary School is the first building in the school district under construction to open new learning spaces. The Tremont project started in June and is a combination of remodeling and new construction. Tremont principal Jim Buffer talks about what it has been like to have construction going on in the building during the school year.
Having construction going on while we were in school was a bit of a challenge, but the construction company bent over backwards to do the noisy work at times we weren't in school, so after 3 p.m. So it went about as well as it could.
The entire second floor of the school was redone and opened after President's Day weekend, with outside learning centers being the next phase to be completed by this summer.
Here we are in the brand new renovated Tremont classrooms. They are very nice. They have these garage doors which open up and reveal other classrooms where students can see each other, and they are significantly nicer than our current high school in my opinion.
Buffer talks about the transition into the new learning spaces.
It's really energizing to walk through the new spaces, the bright colors, the open spaces, and just to see the excitement on the kids' faces as they moved into those new areas. It's really been a great experience.
Part of that excitement for students was that they got to help select the new furniture. First grade student Max shares his favorite part of the new building.
The windows. The big windows.
Another first grader, Charlie, talks about a difference between the new and old spaces.
It's way bigger and it has garage doors so that you can connect different classrooms.
The newly constructed media center is also open and being used. This has been Tad Fountain and Garrett Jepson for WARL.
All renovations on Tremont are expected to be done by the start of the 2020-2021 school year.
Wendy's has launched its new breakfast menu in all Columbus locations a week ahead of the national rollout date.
The breakfast menu includes items like the Frosted-Chino, the honey buttered chicken biscuit, and the breakfast Baconator.
The new Cameron Mitchell restaurant, The Pearl, opens March 10th in historic Dublin. The pedestrian bridge connect.
Now to let's see what Tad has with special reports at the UAHS construction site.
Good morning, Bears, and welcome back to Special Reports. This is a historic day for the Upper Arlington High School 3.0. The beam that has been signed by students, staff, and community members is being hoisted into its final place in the new building. What you may not know is that there's an average of 95 workers on site each day between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. Joining me today is Justin Metcalf, who is a superintendent with Versilli Construction. He's here to help answer a few questions regarding the construction process. So, Justin, first and foremost, can you explain to us what is happening right now?
So we're lifting the ceremonial beam up into place there at the top of the stairs to the theater.
Awesome, thank you. And then about how many people does it take to raise a beam of that size, and what equipment is needed?
So the typical ironworker crew is 5 guys. You've got 2 guys on the ground to rig the beam together, 2 guys up in the air to bolt it in place, and then 1 foreman to kind of oversee everything.
Awesome, thank you. And how much does that beam weigh, and how long is it?
The beam's between 600 and 700 pounds and 18 feet long.
Awesome, thank you. So let's talk about that crane. What can you tell me about that crane, and what's the significance with the American flag and the little tree up there?
So it's a 80-ton rough terrain crane. It'll lift, the height it lifts depends on what load you're trying to lift and how far out you're trying to lift it. The guys typically put an American flag at the top of the crane as just a patriotic sign. Up at the top of the above where we're placing the beam, we have a tree up there, and that is a tradition that's been brought over from Scandinavia over to Europe, and then as most things, it makes its way to America. That started as a tradition from when the people were clearing away an area of forest to kind of appease the tree spirits and the tree gods, and has kind of morphed into a way to signify growth of a community. With your guys' new school, this is a good thing to kind of show growth of your guys' community.
Awesome, thank you. And so, what part of the building are we looking at right now, and where will the beam be placed?
So we're at the north end of the building. We've got the north end of the academic wing here, the entry into the school, and the admin area. Behind the beam is the theater. The beam's being placed at the top of the stairwell to the upper seating of the theater.
Got it. Will the beam be visible from inside the school?
It will be visible from inside the school at the top of that stairwell, but you won't be able to see it from outside.
Okay, thank you. And then, so how are you able to keep all the small, precise measurements perfect and work with all the plumbing and electricity on such a large-scale project?
So there's just a massive amount of coordination that goes into these projects between design team, guys installing it, architects, owners. You've got a massive amount of people tons of meetings.
Nice. Well, thank you, Justin. So, that's where the beam's going to be for however long the high school's up. So, it's officially secured in the new Upper Arlington High School. Thanks for tuning in and have a great weekend.